Well, another week down. Today is the first Sunday in May. I told you last week when we come back at you, April's done. You know what? We finally have some warm weather. For those of you that were in the boat this last week, you probably saw all kinds of stuff. We had pretty bad storms roll through some parts of the Twin Cities, more north, more south. That really bad band that had tornadic activity kind of split us here in the Twin Cities in the metro when it came through. I believe that was Monday night. Then we saw a really, really warm day Monday that came with it, upper 70s, even 80 for some parts of the state. And Tuesday, I'll tell you what, post-storm, usually post-storm, your fish shut off. Post-storm, the fish snapped. And I think it was that really big warm jump in temperature. It actually kind of pushed some of the crappies, excuse me, up, and they got dark, started to put on their tuxedos, as we call it. Wednesday was a great bite. Thursday, Friday brought us right back down to reality. Wind, cold. We had some cold rain overnight some of those nights. Water temps dropped. Things got weird. We've had a lot of conversations about crappie behavior this last week and why they do what they do and why is it tough. Hey, Matt, it's May. They should be firing. Everything should be shallow. Everyone should be a hero. All these fish should be biting. These fish don't know what day of the month it is, what time of the year it is. They know everything based off of environmental factors, water temperature, conditions, all that kind of stuff. Weed growth, this, or whatever. They don't know it's May 1st. I know a lot of years on May 1st, roughly, you catch a lot of crappie shallow. This has been a weird, fickle crappie season. No questions asked. They're making weird movements. They're hunkering down in the weeds. We had days on Friday, Thursday when the bite was relatively tough. I mean, you're talking the first couple days of May, right? You're talking May 1st, May 2nd, should be 200 fish days, and we're really working hard for our crappies. We can actually see with our naked eye the fish in the water in front of us, not biting anything. What happens when these fish move up shallow when the water temperature is warm and then you get a cold front, they kind of slide back out, they still feed, they still bite. When they move in shallow to prepare for the spawn and start to darken up and you get a big cold front, a lot of times instead of moving back out, they just hunker down into the weeds. Because if you notice, a lot of these spots you're getting your crappies, very expansive weed flats, inside turns, mouths of shallow spawning habitat, or even actually into the spawning habitat at this point. So they just kind of hunker down in the cover. And that's why we're seeing these fish with our bare eyes, with our polarized relevance, and they just don't want to bite until that temperature pops up to a degree or two. It's crazy how it happens. Boom, they turn on. That's what we're experiencing. Here's the silver lining in all of that. It's very warm out now. It's 70s today already on Sunday. It's going to be 70s all week. Everything should pop. Things should do what they want. So I think the frustration of crappie fishing, is going to be behind us. But I know the last couple days have been definitely trying. If you're watching this report here on a Sunday afternoon, you're probably going, hey, I was out today. They bit really well, as they should. Things are warming up. So the crappie fishing should be stellar this week. I know we had the Wisconsin fishing opener yesterday. I was on Minnetonka guiding crappies. I'll be chasing hopefully some walleyes this coming week in Wisconsin. I'll report back next week with a report on that. Next Saturday, we have the Minnesota fishing opener, which is super exciting. So you can go chase walleyes, you can chase pike, you can chase bass, catch and release for bass only. Muskie season's not open yet, but you can go out there starting this coming Saturday in Minnesota, chase walleyes, chase northern pike, have a great fish fry in those categories of fish. Certainly go chase your largemouth bass. They just have to go back. Bass season doesn't officially kick off for harvesting until Memorial Weekend in Minnesota. So a lot of things happening this next week. Phenomenal crappie bite, gonna happen. Minnesota fishing opener in 6 days. A lot of excitement going on. Next weekend, Sunday, week from today, Mother's Day. So we got a lot of things to look forward to here in the next 7 days. Super exciting time. Great, beautiful weather. It is going to be sunscreen season, Blackfish sun shirts, all those sorts of things. Get a good pair of eyeglasses. People ask which ones I wear. I wear the Relevance. I wear the Navigator in green chameleon lens. The chameleon technology is awesome because it changes its spectrum of lens color to filter out certain things, certain elements in the water, no matter the condition. So I'll wear that same pair of glasses in kind of cloudy skies, bluebird skies, low light, all that kind of stuff. And I can see well in the water, protects my eyes from the rays, from possible hooks. So there's safety advantages to a good pair of sunglasses, not just so you can see into the water and have more fun sight fishing. So that's what I've been wearing. What are we doing to catch our crappies? Very similar to last week. I'm still fishing under a rocket bobber. We found a lot of fish on the expansive main lake points and up on the weeds because that's where they're going to spawn. Once again, I've not really spent any time back in any of the boat channels. A lot of you are doing really well and catching a pile of fish. It's good to see some really big fish are coming out of the boat channels. They're starting to slide in for those periods of time, and they're going to slide right back out. I've been continuing to focus on what I would consider main lake weeds, not back into one of these boat harbors, but out in the weeds on points, expansive turns. If I know they're going to spawn up against these pencil reeds on this 300-yard stretch of shoreline, I'm finding them just out a ways, not far, maybe a cast offshore, but just out a ways, not pushed up in the pencil reeds or up in that heavier cover quite yet. But as you progress into these next couple days, you can be darn sure they're going to push into that cover. Plastics are working well, hair jigs are working well, we're using all kinds of stuff. It seems like if you just get in front of these fish's faces, they're biting. What are water temperatures? Every day this week I would tell you something different, but right now we are approaching 60 degrees. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day today we're consistently seeing 60 degrees in a lot of our lakes, and definitely by tomorrow and Tuesday it is on. So water temps are going right where they need to be. Fish should be active. It should be a whole lot of fun. Now this coming weekend, Minnesota fishing opener. Gonna chase walleyes. You're probably gonna chase pike. You're gonna do a number of things. The bass are chomping. The bass are chomping everywhere. I'm not even gonna get into the bass bite. It seems like if you land on or near a bass, they want to eat. We've been catching piles of those, chasing crappies and bluegills. So that's the name of the game. One thing I want to talk about, I'm kind of excited about it. You know, I released the OW crappie rod. This is the OW walleye rod. So I have a walleye rod and a bass rod that I'll talk about in another video that I'm also partnering with Thorne Brothers on. This is the Stealth medium light blank with an inch taken off the tip. I took an inch off the tip, had Lonnie chop an inch off him, and I sat down, worked through the semantics of this rod. So it's going to be kind of a hybrid between a medium light and a medium. And I like that for versatility purposes for walleye fishing. Still 7'2", still very balanced split grip, awesome lightweight stealth guide train. And this is going to perform much like a medium light to medium power rod. Great load. You can pitch jigs, you can snap jig, you can use a bobber rig with this if you wanted to. You can fish a jig and wrap. Excuse me, you can Ned rig fish. You can do so many things with this in the world of walleyes. I have a little tungsten jig head on there and a minnow bait. That's going to be my search bait, cover water. This time of year, right away when we start walleye fishing, they are relating to the weeds. We're talking metro area. I'm not a guide on Mille Lacs. I'm not a guide on Lake of the Woods. I fish here in the Twin Cities. They're going to relate to the weeds. They're going to be oftentimes in 6 to 10 feet of water. I'm going to cover water. I'm going to fan cast, and I'm really, really efficient with this. I got a 3000 series Shimano Maribel. I think for the price, that reel is absolutely dynamite. Got some 10-pound braid on there, fluorocarbon leader. You know how I do things. I'm going to cover water, main lake points, inside turns, maybe some gravel weed transition areas, and I'm going to fan cast. I'm probably going to hopefully pick up some walleyes. I know the pike are going to be chomping. We all know the bass are going to be chomping. A very versatile way to just get out there and chase down some fish at opener. Now, you can certainly do the power cork thing. I would definitely have a pound of leeches with me. Certainly bring some minnows, some crawlers, some live bait, bring the gamut. Not overly expensive to stock yourself up on all three of those. Keep them in a cooler. Leeches stay in your fridge just fine. So do the worms. If I had to pick two, that's what I would pick. I'd probably skip the minnows. And then I have an absolute smorgasbord of soft plastics I'm going to bring with and filter through. My assumption with this warmer temp, the walleyes are going to be on those inside weed lines, right in the parent weed lines. I said shallower. They're not going to be out there in 25 feet of water. They're going to be up feeding. We get some days where it's a little cloudy. They're going to pick up their activity level. And again, I'm going to cover water with those moving baits. I'm going to work it, swim it back, pick up the slack, work it, swim it back. I'm not going to be going super fast. I'm also not going to be letting it sit in the bottom. I'm going to find that fine line in between and kind of let them tell me what they want. So that's going to be my approach for chasing walleyes. I'll probably have power cork with some leeches again as well. Probably bring a Tikka minnow or a jig and wrap just to kind of go snap at a few fish that I see. And you can certainly do all of your traditional approaches. Your Lindy rigging, you can definitely do some crankbaiting if you want to do that sort of stuff. I think a lot of the walleyes are going to be caught in a jig here on opener. So excited to see what happens. Beautiful week ahead. Get out there, enjoy it. Whether you're doing yard work, hanging out with the family, or if you're actually out there chasing down some fish, I'm going to be willing to bet you're going to really enjoy your time outside the next 7 days. And when I come back in a week, it'll be Mother's Day. Take care of your mom. So next weekend, it's not just the fishing opener, more importantly, Mother's Day. So make sure you stay the moms in your life, have a good time, cook them a good meal, hang out, and have a great week. See you next time.